everybody have their phones on vibrate or silent?
Yes.
Walk in just. Good evening. We will call the Auburn City Council meeting for Monday, May 20th, 2024 to order. We will begin with the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge the federally recognized Muckleshoot Indian Tribe, the ancestral keepers of the lands we are gathered on today. We thank them for their immense contributions to our state and local history, culture, economy, and identity as Washingtonians. Tonight's council meeting will be held both in person and virtually. Now, if you would all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And Hannah, will you please call roll?
Deputy Mayor Brown.
Excused.
Councilmember Ammer.
Here.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Here.
Councilmember Rakes.
Here.
Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Here.
Councilmember Tracy Taylor.
Excused.
Councilmember Trout Manuel.
Here.
Thank you. All right, we have no announcements, proclamations, or presentations this evening because if you'll recall, last week we had 200, or 2 weeks ago. Agenda modifications. Hannah, do we have any agenda modifications?
Yes, Your Honor. The public hearing for resolution number 5766, a development agreement, was added to the agenda.
Thank you. And it was already properly noticed, Council. It was just an omission from the hard copy. My online version already has it in there. So just to make sure everybody is aware, we did properly notice the hearing. All right, we do have that public hearing this evening. And it is a public hearing for resolution number 5766, development agreement. Is there any staff presentation on that this evening?
No presentation tonight, Mayor. It's a follow-up to the study session discussion we had at last week's meeting.
Last week. Thank you. All right, Council, before we begin, do you have any questions of staff? All right. We will open the public hearing for resolution number 5766, development agreement. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Is there anyone that would like to speak on the development agreement? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and please limit comments to the development agreement.
Virginia Haugen, 2503 R Street Southeast, Auburn. I'm glad I had an opportunity to read the agenda modification and to read the packet because I was out looking for Valley Regional Fire Station at this location and I struggled to find it, but I did notice a lot of action out there. I'm disappointed that I didn't know about it a long time ago. I wish there had been a public hearing so that I got some information a long time ago. I believe it was February when I was out there, and it's quite a large project. I work for Boeing, and I remember giving blood at the fire station that Valley Regional uses now, and I'm glad it's been put to a good use, but disappointed that there was no hearing quite a while ago. Thank you.
Thank you. There was no reason for a public hearing prior to this. There was no development agreement in place. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Final time, is there anyone that would like to speak? Right, we will close the public hearing for resolution number 5766 development agreement. We will now move to audience participation. This is the place on the agenda where the public is invited to speak to the city council on any issue. Hannah, do we have any written comments this evening or anyone online wishing to provide comment?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we will dispense with that and move to the in-person public comment. Participants, if you are interested in speaking, please come forward, give your name and city of residence for the record, and please limit comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Is there anyone that would like to speak this evening? Please come forward, give your name and city of residence for the record.
I'm just here because no one else is speaking tonight. And, of course, I have several issues.
Please give your name and
sorry
city
about
of
that,
residence.
Nancy. Virginia Haugen, 2503 R Street, Southeast, Auburn. Like I said, we don't usually have a lot of public comment, and I wish that more people turned up. I have some neighbors that are very upset about conditions out on our street, but they're not here, so I'm not going to speak for them tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Hearing none, we will move on. Correspondence, we have no correspondence. Council ad hoc committee reports. Council ad hoc committee chairs may report on the status of their ad hoc council committee's progress on assigned tasks and may give their recommendation to the city council, if any. And the finance ad hoc committee is chaired by Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. The Council Ad Hoc Finance Committee, consisting of Councilmember Hanan Amer and myself, reviewed one set of claims vouchers. For those dated May 15th, 2024, we reviewed 168 pages of claims vouchers, including 11 electronic fund transfers and 3 wire transfers, for a total of approximately $8.07 million. The committee also reviewed one set of payroll vouchers for the period covering April 25th, 2024 to May 15th, 2024, totaling approximately $2.88 million. This amount included payroll check numbers 539586 through 539588, as well as electronic deposits. All questions from the Ad Hoc Finance Committee were answered by staff, and with completion of our review, we recommend that Council approves the vouchers. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered by the City Council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Is there a motion? Councilmember Trout-Manuel.
Yes, I would like to make a motion on the consent agenda,
To approve.
to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Clinton Taylor.
Thank you. I second that.
Thank you. Councilmember Trout-Manuel.
Yes, this is to approve the minutes of May 6, 2024, City Council meeting, minutes of May 13, 2024, study session meeting, setting the date for public hearing for Zio Group, and also the claim voucher for May 15th, 2024, for the amount of $7,100,924.60 electric. Those were 11 electronic funds, and then transfer amounts of $3,163.07 and 3 wire transfers in the amount of $968,307.65. Payroll vouchers, number 539586 through 539588 in the amount of $81,031.18 an electronic deposit transmission in the amount of $2,801,750.89, and the grand total of $2,882,782.07 for the period covering April 25th, 2024 to May 15th, 2024.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Consent agenda passes. All right, no unfinished business or new business. We'll move to ordinances. Ordinance number 6941, an ordinance granting to Fat Beam LLC, a Washington limited liability company, a franchise for wireline telecommunications. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I would move to approve ordinance number 6941.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Rakes.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin.
Sure. This ordinance would allow Fat Beam LLC to continue to operate their existing fiber optic telecommunications facilities located in the public ways within the city limits, as their current franchise agreement is set to expire in the near future. Fat Beam provides telecommunications, telephone service, internet access, and wide area network connectivity to education, government, hospitals, and other enterprise-level customers.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? All those in favor of ordinance number 6941, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6941 passes. Resolution number 5766, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a development agreement between the City of Auburn and Auburn 18 Business Park LLC to govern the future development of King County parcel number 24210490004. Is there a motion? Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you. I move that City Council adopt resolution number 5766.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Rakes.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. And there is a Scrivener's error in this, I believe, that will be corrected. It has to do with a reference point in the city code, and it's pointing to a code section that does not exist.
That's correct, Mayor. There's a incorrect reference to a city code. I believe it's on, it's section O, little I believe. And I think it says 1841, and that's an incorrect reference. However, it is correct in the table of contents to the Exhibit D. So it's a clear error and can be one that's corrected after adoption by the mayor within her authority provided by the resolution if the council adopts the resolution.
Just trying to find it for council to agreement one. Is that
It's
in
on
the,
page 47 of your packet. And it's reference chapter 1841A, temporary uses.
so council, it's at the top of that page is, it says I vested city code. And if you look down to chapter 18.41, it should be 18.46. 18.46.
Yeah, that's correct. 18.46A, yes.
Okay, so just a Scrivener's error, there is no need for any motion. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution number 5766, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Resolution number 5766 passes. Resolution number 5767, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a hazard mitigation grant agreement with the Washington State Military Department and all other agreements relating to the Reservoir 2 seismic control valve project, and if matching funds are within the budget to accept and expend grant funds for the project. Is there a motion? Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution number 5767
To adopt.
to adopt.
Is there a second? Councilmember Taylor.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Trout Manuel.
This resolution authorizes the mayor to accept the grant fundings for the project that will install a seismic vault and a vault at Reservoir Number 2 to protect from catastrophic failure in the event of an earthquake.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor of resolution number 5767, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Resolution 5767 passes. All right, we have come to the end of the business portion of the meeting. We will move to mayor and council member reports. At this time, the mayor and city council may report on significant items associated with their appointed positions on federal, state, regional, and local organizations. We will begin with Councilmember Trout Manuel.
I select not to have a report today. There was so much to do, so much meetings I went to, and I don't want to cover all of them, so I'll pass.
All right, Councilmember Rakes.
Thank you, Mayor. On Tuesday, I attended my left board meeting. On Thursday, I attended my King County Public Health, and that one was really interesting because they talked about a 95-bed treatment facility that they're putting in Vashon Island. One of the tribes up there redid one of a worn-out treatment center, and they're making it for families. So if you need treatment and you have kids anywhere from 5 and under, you can bring 2 kids with you. So that was a very interesting meeting about that whole treatment facility. On Friday, I filled in for the mayor for coffee hour with the seniors with Clinton, and I think we had a really good time. It was really fun. And then Friday night, I went to the Auburn JROTC Military Ball and Award ceremony with the mayor and Hanan Armour ceremony. And then Saturday, of course, was Pet Palooza. And what could I say? Pet Palooza is always fun. So we had a good time.
Good, thank you. Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the last time we were here, I went to the ribbon cutting at JA, I'm sorry, for the new city's site that's in there. I thought that was great. Also went to the 95th ribbon cutting ceremony for Rainbow Cafe. That was great. Had a lot of history. Learned a lot about just the cafe itself in this general area. And then, as Councilmember Rake said, we went to the senior facility here on Friday and spent a little over an hour sitting with seniors and talking with them and answering questions, and had a great time having some coffee and conversation with some of our seniors at the senior facility.
I'm jealous that you got to go in my place. That's always a fun time. Councilmember Baldwin.
Sure. So in my duties, I participated in our regular Ready Coalition meeting, and I also attended the South King County Scholar Athlete Breakfast that was hosted by King County Councilmember Pete Von Reichbauer at Emerald Downs. And it was great to see all the young student athletes who were there present, including many from Auburn. So there we go.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Ammer.
I'll start with
Your microphone.
I'm gonna read my note. So let's start. I attend South King County Scholar fundraising. Do not ask me what did they win, because I paid a lot of money, but it's good. It's going for good cause. And I know we had the Seahawks voice. He said something, make yourself better for what you do. This was his comment. So because I done that, and they will usually do it, in May 7 till 10, I attend because I'm a part of the board, so I attend the conference. They call it Washington State Enforcement Association Education Conference, which was, I learned a lot there, it will help me to do my job better as a board member. Second, I attend Auburn GROT ceremony award. The only one things I reject in the ceremony, I did not stand up and take a video of the mayor's speech. It was amazing. You can see the parent, you can see the kids. I love it. I love when you told them, don't forget to come back. That's what they did, besides I lost money in annual breakfast.
Oh, but it was for a good cause, council member. Well, most of the items that I had to talk about, you have already covered. I will just add a few little notes. At the Junior Achievement BizTown ribbon cutting on the 7th, I want to give a special shout out to those that were involved in making that a reality. Jonathan, Kevin, Chester, and Jason for doing all of the great work on the graphics and getting everything installed, and for Tammy for coordinating that. That was no small task, but it is a beautiful feature and asset for not just Junior Achievement, but for the city of Auburn. And I encourage anyone who has not been to the Junior Achievement building to go and check out this very special place. And then as far as the celebration for the 95th anniversary of Rainbow Cafe, I was talking with former Governor Gregoire today on the phone, and as many of you may know, Governor Gregoire is a former resident and alumni of Auburn High School, and her family used to work at the Rainbow Cafe. She spent many a night doing her homework in one of the back booths, and so I shared with her today that we had celebrated the 95th anniversary, and she wanted to make sure that I provide her congratulations to the Rainbow as well as the city for having such a great establishment and long-standing establishment. And also at the Junior ROTC Military Ball on Friday night, it was an honor to be there to see all of the young people that are involved in the JROTC and their commitment to their community, to their classwork, to their families, and to their country and to their city. It's nice to see young people who are so dedicated. Some of them will go into the military when they're finished with JROTC. Some of them had been involved for their full 4 years of high school. Others are just in their first or second year with more to come. But it was a really fun night, and thank you to Staff Sergeant Tatu, who has given at least 10 or 11 years to the Junior ROTC here in Auburn. He will be retiring, and we thank him for his service to the community. And at the South King County Scholars Athletes Fund annual breakfast, thank you to King County Councilmember Pete Von Reichbauer for always believing in our student athletes for both Auburn and Federal Way schools. It's always a great opportunity to spend some money for a good cause, although I did not spend as much as you did, Councilmember Ammer, or as much as Councilmember Baldwin attempted to spend. But it was a fun time, and the special guests were Steve Rabel and Steve Largent. So to watch the two of them chit-chat back and forth was a special treat. As they were reminiscing, and they did ask the question, one of the audience members asked Mr. Largent if he liked the call of passing the ball in the last Super Bowl, to which he said he did not, but it was a good call to make since Marshawn was so well covered. So, and he was he was in Congress for 8 years after his illustrious football career, and that was a very, very politically astute comment to make when that question was asked. We have no reason for an executive session this evening. We are adjourned. Pretty close.